You know, some of the most chilling stories don't start in some spooky, faraway place. Nah, sometimes they begin in the most ordinary spots you can imagine, like a quiet, suburban garage. And that is exactly where this unbelievable case gets its start.
Just imagine this for a second. You're checking out an abandoned house, maybe thinking you found a deal. You wander into the garage, and you see this heavy blue tarp just sitting there on the floor. So you pull it back, and what's underneath isn't old junk or forgotten tools. It's something that looks just like leather.
But of course, it wasn't leather. It was a human body that had been naturally mummified. And this one single, shocking discovery would kickstart a years-old cold case and unravel a secret that was literally hiding in plain sight.
So, where do you even begin with a discovery like this? For investigators, it all had to start with the body itself, a victim perfectly preserved who had been lying there just waiting.
For 6 years. That's how long the secret was kept. 6 whole years. Seasons changed, people walked by, life went on, all while being completely unaware of the horrifying scene hidden just a few feet away in that garage. Okay, so this discovery left investigators with 2 huge questions. Who was this person? And, more importantly, how did they die? To even start getting answers, they first had to figure out the bizarre state of the body itself. Right? It sounds like something from an ancient Egyptian tomb, not a modern American suburb. But the answer, it turns out, lies in a pretty fascinating and completely natural process.
So we're not talking about deliberate mummification with bandages and rituals. This is what happens when the environment itself does all the work. The absolute key here is a lack of moisture. It stops the bacteria that cause decay dead in their tracks.
And as you can see here, that simple everyday garage became the perfect preservation chamber. The still, dry air just sucked the moisture out of the body so fast that the bacteria that caused decomposition just couldn't survive. It essentially dried everything out, turning the skin leathery and preserving everything underneath.
So, okay, natural mummification explained the condition of the body, but it couldn't explain the cause of death. For that, detectives had to turn to some amazing modern technology to get a deeper look. The 3D CT scan was basically a virtual autopsy. They could see right inside the body without ever making a single cut. And what they found? It was undeniable. The preservation was so perfect that the evidence of a violent death was still crystal clear. Multiple, devastating fractures to the skull. This wasn't an accident. This was murder.
And just like that, science had turned a bizarre discovery into a homicide investigation. But with a victim who they couldn't identify and a crime scene that was 6 years cold, investigators were essentially hunting a ghost. This timeline really puts the whole challenge into perspective. For more than half a decade, the killer had a massive head start. But as detectives started digging into the history of the house, one name just kept popping up. A man named John Mooney, who had lived there a long time ago.
He immediately shot to the top of their suspect list, and now the hunt was focused. They weren't just looking for a ghost anymore. They were looking for a man named John Mooney.
And that hunt? Well, it eventually led them right to him. This brings us to the final, dramatic chapter of the story, the confrontation, where years of scientific police work would finally come face to face with the man at the center of it all.
Now, when they finally found him, Mooney had a story all ready to go. He claimed it was self-defense, just a tragic accident. But his story had one giant problem. They just couldn't stand up against the science. The 3D scans didn't show one defensive wound. They showed a brutal, vicious, repeated attack.
Look, you just can't argue with a 3D image of a shattered skull. Faced with the silent, undeniable testimony of the victim's own mummified body, Mooney's story just completely fell apart. And that's when the truth finally came out. He confessed, and for the very first time, he revealed the murder weapon. It wasn't anything complicated or exotic. It was a common tool, used with absolutely brutal intent. A crowbar. He laid it all out, a simple argument that exploded into this horrific act of violence. But maybe the most chilling detail of all was what he did next. After committing the murder, he didn't panic, he didn't run, he just calmly sat down on a bed and smoked a cigarette. And that was it. He confessed to everything. He wrapped the body, hid it under that tarp, and just walked away, leaving it to be preserved by the still, dry air of that garage for 6 long years. A silent testament to his crime, just waiting for technology and good old-fashioned police work to finally bring it all to light.
It's one of those stories that is just so hard to forget. It makes you wonder about all the seemingly ordinary places around us, right? The locked doors, the quiet garages, and it leaves you with this one really unsettling question. How many secrets are hidden just next door?